Hey Mark, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video. From camp, we're going to go through and talk a little bit about what I'm seeing, a couple things we can do to basically maximize our lower half. You know, we want to use our legs to get thrown. We want to use our, the power in that lower half to generate the forces, generate the torque, and kind of get away from using our upper body to throw the ball. You know, we got to get ourselves in a nice solid position, nice powerful position. We need to stay back, and so we'll just kind of go through it and break down a few things here and there, and kind of look at, you know, how you're starting, what your legs are doing through starting, and most importantly, you know, what that lower half is doing, what your hips are doing, and then we're going to stop and look at where you are at foot strike. So once that left foot first touches the ground, how you looking, and then we're going to go through with your follow through. All right. So from the wind up, all right, you're doing a good job at limiting your movement. You know, you see a lot of times kids will take a big step left or right or back, and so you're doing a good job at keeping that head over that foot. All right. So you're staying over that back foot. You know, everything's looking good. You're leaking forward a little bit. You know, usually we kind of like to see the head staying back over that back foot a little bit longer, but that's just not too bad right here. All right. Now, what the biggest thing, what we're going to look at and kind of talk about is, I'm going to draw a box sort of around your hips right here. All right. Now, once that leg starts going down, you kind of see how you kind of stay in that box until, you know, your foot's almost touching the ground. You know, it's basically straight, and then you're going forward. All right, we want to try to get to a point where instead of your knee kind of swinging open, we want these hips to get going forward. We want to get in this position. You want to start taking that hip, you want to start taking that back pocket, whatever you want to think of, and you want to start driving it down the hill as this leg starts coming down. All right, so as your knee starts coming down, your hips are moving forward. So as you're going forward, you know, you're probably going to see your hips probably right out here. You're going to see this this leg still closed off a little bit more, and that foot hasn't come in front of your knee. See how it's kind of angled right out here? You know, you're still going to be back because your hips are still going to be leading. All right, and then back down here, you know, at this position, we'd like to see your hips shifted from almost right here. You know, we like to see them down the hill a little bit more here. You know, and your foot still hasn't really come in front of that knee yet. So you're just sitting back too much. You need to get your body going down the hill. You got to get those hips going down. All right, so you're just kind of lagging back here, and then you're seeing what's happening is once those hands are breaking, all right, your hands are breaking at a good spot over the rubber. All right, but what you're seeing is because it's so early and your body's not moving forward, is that it's lagging back here and it's locked. You know, you got a straight elbow here, a straight elbow here. All right, we don't ever want to have any lock joints or straight elbows. All right, and you're seeing that happen. All right, and then you're going to get to your point here where your elbows at a pretty decent position here to get going forward, but it's just that so much that it's kind of late, it just kind of lags and pauses back here. All right, we just need to make sure that once your body, and it's going to be easy, once your body starts going forward and you pop that hand out, you know, you're going to be able to have a little bit more time, and it's not going to have to kind of lock out to get synced up with your lower half. So it's just more of a timing deal. All right. Another reason with, you know, we want to get those hips going is watch what this front leg is going to be doing here. All right, it's going to kind of be swinging out with your front arm and just open up real early. All right. So if we're to take kind of a line from this back foot and go down the hill, you're going to see that you're really popped open early. You're just not using your hips. All right, because you're staying back, because that leg's swinging open, you know, you're going to land open. So we want to try to close that up a little bit, and it's going to be easy. All you got to do is keep those hips closed, drive them farther down the hill, and that foot's going to land right in line. So it's going to be a lot easier for you there. Alright, so right at foot strikes, we're going to look right when this front foot touches the ground. Alright, looks like it's about right here. You can see that your front side has completely rotated. Alright, we don't want to see this. Alright, you can't see your other arm. We want to try to match up this arm with this front side here. So we just got to make sure that our hips are rotating first before our upper body. Alright, so you're going to see right here as you rotate forward that your hips and shoulders are going at the same time. So we want to try to get to this position with your hip rotated forward and this upper body, you know, back here. So this upper body still hasn't rotated yet. Everything's back here. You know, you're loaded up, you're generating all that power in that hip, and then everything comes forward. So you're just a little bit early. And this is a big strength deal. It's something that will get easier as you get older. It's pretty tough at your age, but if you kind of focus on it and work at it, you know, once everything comes, it's going to be a lot easier for you. All right, so I mean, arm path wise, it looks okay. It does, you know, there's nothing jumping out that's showing me that there's going to be a huge concern for injury problems. All right, it's just that it's lagging a little bit. It's just not getting up on top of the ball right away, and it's just that this pulling off this front side puts a big load on this shoulder. All right, so it's just a matter of keeping that left shoulder closed longer. You just want to think about keeping your hips closed, that front shoulder closed as long as you can as you're driving as hard as you can down the hill, and then letting that right side do the work. Let that right hip drive towards the catcher first, and then let that right shoulder come through and not pulling that left shoulder through. All right, so you're kind of seeing here through release. All right, so we'll call this your release point right here. All right, you're doing a good job of keeping this back foot on the ground. All right, that's good to see. You see a lot of kids kind of popping that foot off the ground, and you're driving over that front foot a little bit. But the more you're able to stay through those hips, the more you're going to keep that front side closed. You're going to start seeing your head, your chest shift a little bit farther out here. So you're going to get even farther out over that front foot. You're going to go from releasing the ball here, you're going to probably pick up another 6 to 8 inches of release point. So, and then you're going to see that foot kind of kick up a little bit higher. You know, you're just kind of like you're just not using your lower half. You're using a lot of upper body. All right, so just get those legs involved. That's where the power is going to come from. All right, so just hips closed longer, drive them down the hill. You know, keep that front side locked in place. Let that glove stay on over that front foot. You know, another thing that you can see back here is through release. You're seeing that glove. You're seeing it right here. All right, at release point, we want to try to see that glove. We want to still see that glove in that picture. We want to try to see it out here somewhere. All right, so that's just think about, you know, once that glove gets down over that front foot, right about right here, your foot's landing. All right, we want to try to lock that glove in place right here. All right, and then start rotating the elbow down. All right, and keeping that glove out there as you rotate. All right, and that's going to help you get down over that front foot a little bit more. All right, one thing real quick before my time's up here is from the stretch. You know, you don't have to worry too much about speedy runners at your age. You know, let yourself work on. You know, we don't need to worry about a slide step right off the bat. We gotta make sure that we're using this lower half. Let this leg try to get up and match that angle. I think you're up probably about right here. Get that leg up and let it match that wind-up height. You know, this just emphasizes using no legs. All right, it takes your hips completely out of the equation, and then to compensate, you see that your front side really pops open a lot earlier out of the stretch, and now you're not even seeing your arm or your glove. It looks like you're one-armed man throwing here, and that's just, once this happens, this is taking a big load right here. So just use more legs. You know, that's all it is. So hopefully you had a great time at camp, and you're having a great season, having a lot of fun. We look forward to seeing you again with ABC.